Hey guys, so today I have something exciting to show you guys, and that is the Fenty foundation, the powder one that is. It came out on the 26th of December and that was everywhere, and I just had to have it. I love me a good old powder foundation. So I've got nothing on my face, so looking a little bit crazy, just got some eyes on, but I'm going to show you how the color that I chose, my whole selection process, talk you guys through it, so stay tuned. So here we have the new Fenty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation. So here we have it in the signature Fenty packaging with the color on top. I've got it in the shade 420. Maybe it might be backwards for you guys. I've got it in the shade 420 as I showed you guys just a minute ago, and I'm super excited to try it out. I've actually tried all of the formulas of Fenty foundation. I'm just that type of person. I'm pretty fortunate. I've got combination skin, but I can pretty much rock with anything if you pair it with the right primer, or you know how to manipulate your foundations, then you're good to go. I personally like my foundation to look a little bit more hydrated, a little bit more dewy. So I loved the last release with the dewy foundation. But I do really love the OG that is Pro Filt'r foundation, the soft matte one, in the liquid, because it literally just feels like skin. So those two did really well for me. I hope this one lives up to my expectations, because she can just do no wrong. And I hope that it keeps up to it. Now I'm starting to see a few more videos out there on the powders, but when I was searching for it, because I didn't have any patience and I wanted to get it the day it came out, there wasn't actually many out there. I know that some people got them sent in PR, but for the most part I wasn't seeing much videos, and I mean, it makes sense, I suppose. So I had to do my research and I went on the website. I did find and look at a couple of videos that I did find, so I just thought I would do my part and show you what it looks like on someone with my complexion. And there we go. So I bought one because, girl, she is not cheap. So I picked up my foundation from Boots, and the powder retails for £27. So I have one. I hope it's right, because of course we are in lockdown, or at least we're not able to go out and go into the shops and try on foundations. So this was a tricky task. So hopefully this can help you guys if you're close to my complexion. And literally my whole method of it was to look at, you can do like a quiz online. I now see that you can actually ask an advisor online as well. You can book that appointment on the Fenty website. So there's a few different things that you can do that they've brought that whole service back. Yeah, so you can, there's a few different options that you can have. I went for the shade 420. And actually, when I looked on the website and I looked at the model, that wasn't enough for me, because the shades, the photos of the models looked, dare I say it, edited in some format. Like, it just didn't look true to how I expected it to, or at least needed it to, for me to just part ways with my money just based on that. So I had to just go a little bit deeper, went online, compared the colors, looked at them, looked at how it swatched on people. But actually the color that I did get ended up being the same color that I have in the original formula. Now I can't show you what it looks like, because my good old, I didn't even realize that she's finished. Like, my Pro Filt'r matte foundation is finished, but I do have the original color in 420 also. And technically I have the hydrating longwear one in 430. So I was choosing between those two colors, but the 430 in the powder just looked a little bit too dark, a little bit too red, so I settled for the 420 in it. And to be fair, this is a little bit warmer, but when I tried the 420 in the hydrating one at the time, it just didn't fit my complexion. So again, I know how to manipulate it, make it work, but this is definitely a warmer shade for me. So let's just show you what it looks like first. Typical shades by Fenty. We've got Fenty Beauty on the top there. Then when you open it up, you've got a mirror, and you've also got, hopefully I'm not blinding you guys, the color here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the color as well. Hopefully it's not too distorted. So that's the color I've got, and you've got the Fenty Beauty initials stamped into the powder. You've got another mirror where you lift it up to get to the sponge. I never use the sponge when it comes to putting and applying my powder foundation, so I won't be doing that today, and I probably won't ever really use it. What I would most likely use it for is to touch up if need be, but I rarely do that. So yeah, she's just going to stay under there, and I will show you the brushes that I'm going to use. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to go in with a swatch, or just a good amount on my cheek. I've just got primer on, no concealer, no nothing on my face, just to see how the color matches up. Brushes, when it comes to powders, are important. You can use a couple of options of brushes. Just reaching for my brushes there. When it comes to powder brushes, you can use a good old powder brush, but bear in mind that this is going to give you like a lighter coverage. Or if you were the type of person that wanted to put your powder foundation on top of your liquid foundation just to give you that full beat, that full coverage, typically I don't do that. But even then, if you didn't have a denser brush, something a little bit more like this one, which you could use for liquid foundations, but I love to use these domed compact type brushes for powder foundation as well, to give me that full coverage. These, if you don't want to have this, you could just do this technique where you pinch your brush together, and again, that's just tightening the bristles to give you that same effect if you're just on a shortage of something. So actually, just to show you the color, I'm going to go in with my dense brush and see how we work with it. So I've picked up quite a bit. And I mean, from what I can see, it's literally melting into my skin. I'm just going to zoom in so you guys can see. So that's really nice coverage as well. So I'm not gonna like apply this fully, I'm just showing you for the purpose of coloring. It's not too red, like it's matching well down to my neck as well, but I want to go in like with a full look. And so when it comes to powders, I'm going to put all my liquid products on first and then set with my powder. But I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like, and it's said to have like a blurring effect, and I can definitely see that already. I'm really liking this, really liking this so far. So I'm definitely glad I didn't go for the 430, because I think the 430 would have been too dark, and I hope it doesn't oxidize. So I really hope that this does it justice, and you guys can see on the camera with the lighting how effective it is. So I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm going to show you a whole routine as I would do, and we'll go from there. Okay, so now that you've seen just the powder on its own, I've taken it off, and I'm going to go in as I normally would do in a powder routine. So I'm going to apply concealer. I don't have a warm tone like concealer that I would use to color correct those kind of things, or just you know, get rid of any little blemishes or things like that to give me that nice flawless finish. So I'm actually just going to use a little bit of the hydrating longwear in 430, and as I mentioned earlier, it does have a slightly warmer tone, so that should just work perfectly for this, in just to kind of keep it on brand, so to say. I'm just gonna go in and just go in those areas that I am most visibly concerned with. You can automatically see that it's quite like a warmer tone, the 430 on me. I'm using it like a concealer. It's not like I'm putting on foundation all over. So I put on all my liquid stuff first. So I'm going in with my liquid concealer. Then we'll finish it all off with the powder foundation. So we'll go in with the liquids and the creams and all that jazz, and then we'll finish off with the powders, because I just don't want that tugging motion. Like, I've seen some people do it, and although you can, it's just not the best. It's just not the best to do. If you can avoid it, avoid it. So literally all I have on now is just the concealer and the Hydrating Pro Longwear that I used as a concealer. Just gonna go in with a blender just to soften her out as well. That was the concealer in 380 that I just used. So I'm just gonna conceal the places all that I usually conceal and contour the places that I contour. So I'm going to use now the matchstick in shade Espresso. I got that trio there because I just love, I mean, they're magnetic, all of them are, but I just loved that. Plus it was a good deal, so I picked that up. And I don't actually like to go too dark with my contour anyways, so the shades worked perfectly for me. Keep it really simple. Just blend that up into where I use the concealer. But literally I'm going to go all over all of this with the powder. Nice, because it's just like a nice warm shade, so might look a little bit crazy in the moment now. And also what I want to do is I want to go in with the cream stick, the highlighting one underneath as well. I'm going to use a powder highlight, but I want to do that also just to add that extra highlight. I literally put it here and here, and I'll put it on my top lip as well, and a little here. at like this point when you want to blend through and you just want to make blending easier, I like to go in with a setting spray, just to work it in. This is actually my first time using this, and it's very, 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 very fine. Very fine. Smells nice, but the spray aspect of it is so fine that it's almost like it's barely touching my face. I don't know how I feel about that. I actually prefer for my sprays like to come out with a little bit more. So as you can see, like I've just blended that in so you can see all that glow underneath and on like my nose area. And now I'm all done with those. I'm pretty happy. I'm not going to go in with any more product, any more cream product as it is, because I want the powder to do its work. But we saw how it worked anyhow, but let's just finish it off with the powder. So you can see that, you can still see that glow underneath. Oh, I'm so happy, so happy with this color, because I just wasn't sure. And not all brands tend to, like, even though you're one color in one formula doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the same color in another formula. So it's just important to just know. But she did really well, because this is matching up really well. So I don't want to just say jump the gun and say, okay, well, if you're 420 in the Pro Filt'r matte foundation, you're 420 in the powder. Still do your due diligence and research and look into it. Take in how you like the powder to fit you, how you like the foundation to fit you, just to be certain. I'm just taking it down on that jawline there as well. Don't want a floating head, but I mean, it does mix in well, but just to be certain. And I didn't go too far up. It might have looked like I did under the eye, but I'm doing stippling motions, if you see. And it's just beautiful. And this is why I like for the purpose of the camera, it was a slower process just to show you what I'm doing. But really and truly, powder foundations can give you a really nice flawless finish, just the same as a liquid can, with like half the time. Half the time. I'm really happy with this. So you guys can see. And then I'll just go in with my bronzer on top and a little setting powder just to brighten up underneath the eyes. But if you notice, I didn't add any of any of the highlighting product on the forehead, but it just has a really nice healthy glow to it. I really like this. So as I mentioned, I'm just going in with my Fenty setting powder in the shade Hazelnut. I actually wished I went a little bit lighter, but to be fair, I like to keep my makeup quite natural, so you know, it's okay in this shade. So just not any real baking, just brightening up the under eye. You don't really want to use like a powder foundation to set your concealers, really, because it's just that under eye. You want to make sure it's good. So I'm going in with the shade Coco Naughty for my bronzer. Much trophy wife, good old trophy wife. You know, I'm just gonna dip the tip of my brush in here because, I mean, literally you do not need a lot of trophy wife at all. It's just one of those things. Now it's time to just top off with good old classic gloss bomb. Just a nice natural, no makeup. Oh, and let's just finish that off. Seal it all in with the spray. You guys can see how it sprays, right? It's like a fine mist. But I'm gonna bring it closer to my face because I want to set that makeup in, set that powder in. Not drench the face, but because it's so fine, it's fine to do it like this. Do you see what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like a powder. Once you set it in, that's my typical routine with a spray. A powder, then a setting spray, because it doesn't look like a powder. So all in all, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, like, it's all down to wear now. That is gonna be the biggest thing. And honestly, from the looks of it and how it feels, I think it feels like there's nothing on my face at all. So I'm really happy with that, and I hope that it sticks up to what it's supposed to. It's really nice because I've got quite a lot of golden in my chest, but I've got a lot of warmth in my face. But it is, you know, as it says on the box, it does what it says. So it's medium to full coverage. I showed you guys how that worked. I showed you when I didn't have anything on my face, nothing being used as a concealer at all. Light as air. As I just mentioned, it feels like that I actually feel like I have no makeup on, and a flawless filter effect. I'm just going to zoom in for you guys. Nah, definitely. I've ran out of the original bottle, and I thought that was like a perfect match. And I honestly, I don't think that there were any of the formulas. I don't think it would be a case like I don't think I'd buy them again. I'd 100%. That's never my sentiment. I'm never like, I don't know, it was all right, but I won't buy it again. No, I'd buy the Pro Filt'r foundation again. I'd buy the hydrating one again. I'd buy this powder again, and that's just on the first time. Like, I don't need to say no more. I don't need to say anything more because I'd buy it again. I would buy it again. It's a winner for me, especially with a brush. I don't use sponges. Don't know what it was going to be like with a sponge. Don't ask me. I'm never going to apply it with a sponge. Never ever. It's always going to be a brush in my case. But so happy, so happy with that. So that was it for my first impressions of the Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation from Fenty. I hope you guys enjoyed. I got it in the shade 420. Hopefully that might help anyone out there who is looking for a foundation match in this time. I picked mine up at Boots. Follow me on my socials, which is your host Lala. Let me know in the comments what you think of it, or even follow me on Instagram, DM me, we can have a chat, chop it up, and stay tuned for more videos on hair, makeup, skin, everything that embodies me. So thanks for watching. Bye.